because I've subconsciously held or unconsciously even held a shame and a fear around sharing the wholeness of what I'm truly passionate about.
A voice calling from within our core.
What are we here for? We realize that our power lies
And how we live our lives.
and how we choose to show up.
So we choose to show up as rooted crowns, and this is our living prayer. Birth from the earth,
on a path to reclaim our name,
nature, ancestral medicine to heal our home. We sow this prayer in our bodies between many hands and upon our land.
In direct response to self-hate, forced scarcity, and climate change.
But it's simple for real. We plant food forests and concrete jungles,
inspiring youth to lead us out this struggle,
nourishing our bodies as living proof,
sharing all we do to amplify this truth.
Yeah, we documenting it all,
bringing it to you so you can feel this call in person, online.
Yeah, we standing tall, rooted crowns, let's rock with it, y'all.
I'm in my third trimester, y'all, and as I've observed this baby growing so exponentially and felt my body and how I needed more of some things, I've been ignited or reignited to return to some basic studies that I've been honestly engaging for, 11 plus years around diet, nutrition, and wellness. And yes, that journey definitely started off with veganism, but it continued to evolve. And it made a drastic turn several years ago in a way that I honestly haven't been that public and consistently public about. And one of the reasons that I haven't is because most of the people that I know who actually care about what they eat are striving to be vegan. And otherwise, everybody else mostly just doesn't care what they eat, really. So in my process throughout these years of even trying to tell a few people about it, I felt pretty isolated because of what I was learning. And this is one of the reasons why, subconscious reasons for me why so many of the recipes that we've shared on this channel so far have been vegan. Because I've subconsciously held or unconsciously even held a shame and a fear around sharing the wholeness of what I'm truly passionate about. And also, we just happen to eat a lot of plant-based meals when we eat out, or when we eat other people's foods, or when we share food with a wide variety of people. But even with that though, like, the whole concept of plant-based isn't actually enough. Like, we ask a lot more questions once we get into a space that's plant-based. We ask what the specific ingredients are. We ask what it's cooked in, what kind of oil or fat it's cooked in, and so on. And yeah, Lev and I are not vegan. We're not striving to be vegan. And when we can get access to some of the other things that we eat, we ask very specific questions with those as well. And these questions, these answers to these questions are really important because of my studies that have kind of been a continual thread that have been based in the teachings of Susan Weed and the Wise Woman tradition, the findings of Weston Price based on traditional cultures around the world that are unaffected by modern processed foods and all the health of their body and teeth because of it, consistently all over the world. And then Sally Fallon's Weston A. Price Foundation, which is a evolution that furthers his findings. And yeah, in reigniting my studies in this precious moment of gestation of this child, I've really been feeling it's important to not only understand deeply this information, but to also begin to share it. And because I have now this deeply stable companionship and constant engagement and collective growth with Lev, I've started to really heal these unconscious and subconscious feelings of fear and shame that I would make myself more alone if I talked about what makes sense to me. So basically, My studies. My studies have and continue to take me to a place where I'm not only honoring the nourishment of my body, but also the symbiotic engagement with and regeneration of the planet, and the wisdom of the traditional wellness supporting indigenous cultures around the world. And within those studies, I do eat animal products, ones that are preferably raised with regenerative, holistic management, like what's presented through the Savory Institute, or otherwise, at the very least, they're pasture raised, wild caught, or free range and grass fed. I'm also studying and slowly integrating other findings around these nourishing traditions, lineages, of properly preparing grains with fermentation and sprouting, the value of sea salt, lacto-fermented foods, nutrient-dense foods containing fat-soluble vitamins A, D, and K, quality saturated and monosaturated fats, and so on and so forth. And this, all that, and much more is what I'm going to begin consciously sharing with you all, being public about within episodes of this Rooted Crowns channel. And I just wanted to say that and give thanks that for love, of course, and also for my other friends who are a little bit more distant, like India Maye, who was a wonderfully majestic author and internet personality that I know personally, who was consistently public about her intentional and consciously holistic diet and lifestyle that's definitely not vegan. And then also people and pages that I follow and study from, like the aforementioned Susan Weed and Sally Fallon, but also like the author Leah Keith. I want to give thanks for all of them for publicly taking a stand for holistic and integral nourishment of ourselves integrally within the circle of life in the ways that they do. So please, stay tuned for this intentionally made, transparent expression of my authentic, nourishing direction and more videos to come. Thanks for watching.